Good morning, YouTube. This is the Don coming to you with another how-to video. So this is going to be part 2 on your build. This one's going to cover your actual heroes and their different setups and builds and treasures and everything else like that builds your heroes to build what class you are. So I'm going to be mainly covering Bruiser today because that's what I am and that's really what I know really well. But I'm going to touch on Tank and touch on Glass Cannon also, just so you guys have a good understanding if you guys are trying to go towards those builds. So with your actual heroes, you're going to want to go to your lineup and look at their advanced stats. So looking at mine, I'm doing about 1500 crit, 3000 parry, 3200 dodge, 9000 toughness, and 7000 deadly. You want as many fates as you can possibly get, as long as you're with your treasure fates and with your actual heroes that you have to put in your knights. You're going to want as many of those as possible, regardless of what the stat is. You're just going to want them all. The real thing about your character that's going to help you is going to be your talents and your actual treasure refined, right? So for your talents, you can see in this one, every time my star amount goes up, my HP pretty much goes up. Because once you get past 50, you're starting to put PvP into your character, and then the toughness or deadly, HP, all that other stuff is going towards your actual hero. It's not going towards your character. So with your talent on a Bruiser class, you're definitely going to want Baja just because he has a whole lot of HP. You can get PDEF and MDEF in other places, which can help make him more survivable, but you're mainly going to be wanting to get his star amount up. He doesn't really have any special talents like the other ones do, where, like Odin, I believe he revives somebody, or, at the end of his turn, or once you kill somebody. I can't remember off the top of my head, and we'll just take a look at it. Yeah, so like with Odin, he's going to respawn an Exo hero and restore 30% of initial HP when you kill somebody. So, he doesn't have one of those, special talents, whatnot, but he does have a whole lot of HP compared to everybody else. So he's a good outside hero setup for your Exo. The other one is obviously going to be Odin. Now the reason for that is exactly what I was just talking about. His 90 star and 100 star are epic. His 90 star is going to do counterattack enemy after parrying damage against outermost hero that is still alive 100%. So you're going to do 100% more damage this time than you were last time when you parry, or if you parry off somebody. So you're going to be doing a whole lot of damage. The other one is your Blood Frenzy at 100 star. That one is basically if you're Exo, which if it's Odin, if he dies and you kill somebody, it's going to revive your Exo with 30% health, and then you can keep on going, So those two mainly you're going to see on a Bruiser class as far as Exo. And then for your Hela, we're going to look at her talents. So her talents are going to cover up toughness, deadly, and then 20% crit rate, sorry, I'm a little dyslexic today. 10% on your attack, 30% on your critical damage, and then your 90% is after death, master attacks 100%, so it lasts 15 seconds. So as soon as you die, say you're playing, Empire Strikes or you're playing Apex War, as soon as you die, you have 15 seconds to go out there and kill somebody to do 100% damage with your Hela. So this only affects your Hela. Don't forget that. It's not going to affect your main character. It's not going to affect your Exo hero. It's going to affect just Hela. Her attack is going to go up 100%. So that is mainly a Bruiser class. You're going to want your Odin as your Exo, Hela as your Endo. Now, how to get their stats good is with your Endo, which should be Hela, you're going to want her crit up, her toughness, and her deadly. Now the reason why you want those ones really high is because they're what's going to do most damage to the enemy. So it's the same thing with your character setup. Your toughness, the higher the value, the easier it is to crit, parry, or dodge. For your deadly, the higher the value, the easier to cause max attack. And for crit, the higher the value, the easier crit is triggered, deals 1.5 damage. So you can think of the 1.5 damage as being time and a half when you have overtime at your job, right? It's basically the same thing. So in order to crit somebody, you need toughness. So you need a whole lot of toughness just to initiate your crit. Then it's going to give you a percentage on your crit in order to do the 1.5% damage. And the 1.5% damage is going to be based off your deadly. So your deadly has to be high, so that way when you do the max damage, so my min and max right now is 50,000 to 93,000 damage. Max damage is going to be 93,000, so your deadly is, extremely important in the aspect of if I'm only doing 50,000 damage, because even when I crit, it's only going to be doing 75,000 damage. Now, if I crit off of 93,000 damage, it's going to be doing a whole lot more. Let's see, 45 plus 90 is 135, so you're going to be doing about 135,000 damage versus the 75, which is just under half the amount that you would. So that's why those three are important, and the way to get those up is to go to your treasures. So if you look at my treasures right here, or actually your refine. So my first one, my golden fleece, I have it at refined level 10. It's giving me an extra 900 crit. I need a whole lot more on her, but for right now, 4,000 crit is what's going to have to deal. And then my other two deadly, which is the 500, plus the other deadly, which is 2,100, and then toughness, which is 1,500. So every time you refine any of these, that's what's going to help your character. But those 4 ones are what you're mainly going to be wanting to, when you get those extra ones, that's what you're going to want to put it into. Now for your Odin, or not your Odin, well, maybe your Odin if you have him, but for my example, I have Baja. And with him, so the main thing that you really want is toughness. Toughness. So you want him to parry and dodge as much as you possibly can so that can survive longer than anything else, because he's your outermost hero. He's what's blocking all of your damage dealers from dying. So your toughness is very important. Then your dodge and parry. Your deadly is important just because when you do attack, and if he's not dead, you're going to want to do as much damage as he can possibly give you to do, but it's not as important. As far as my build right now, I'm really not sure how I got 7,000 deadly on him, because you'll see in my refine. So for my refine on him, I have toughness refined at level 11, which is 3,000. Then my youth apple, which is my parry, refined up to level 6. And then my courage arc, which is my dodge, refined up to level 6. Now, sometimes these are a little harder to get by, finding them is, high near impossible. Well, not impossible when you get higher up levels, but finding the exact one that you need. Because personally, I got this thermal winter on my Exo, which is absolutely useless. It does nothing for him except for that it's a gold fate, but it doesn't actually do any of his fates. I'm looking for a demon bottle, but I don't know, that thing's been pretty tricky to find for me. I just can't get it. I don't know why. But anyways, so the 3 that you're going to want to, basically look for is your youth apple, your courage arc, and then your last one in order to get up your toughness. Again, that's mainly so that way you can crit with your, well, you're not going to crit with him. You're going to try to parry or dodge with him. You're going to try to crit with your Hela. So that's your bruiser class. If you're going to be doing, either a tank class or a glass cannon, you're basically going to want to tailor off of what I've already said as far as those setups, but you're going to want to do it twice. So it's going to be a little bit harder to build itself. But if you're building a tank, you're going to want your toughness on both characters in order to be high. your parry and dodge also to be very high. If you're going with the other route and you're doing glass cannon, you're going to want your toughness really high, but then your deadly and your crit to be really high in order to do the max amount of damage that you possibly can. So this is a quick overview. I hope it made sense. I hope you understand. If you don't, leave comments below. I'll try to explain it a little bit more, but I'm going to try to keep these video lengths a little bit down. My next video that I'm going to be going over is for your actual character and their advanced stats, their gear, a little bit about their gems, so that way you guys can continue on with these builds. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, share. I'll see you guys in the next video.